Welcome back to Pembrey in Wales for the second instalment of race action from the British Minibikes Championship 2024, the official Road to MotoGP series. We've got some amazing onboard camera action coming your way as well. First race up is the FIM Mini GP 160 class. That's featuring the riders from 10 to 14 years of age. Tyler Humphries, Hudson Cooper and Wilson Dilks will share the front row. Very close in qualifying between those three. Josh Herring, Frankie Watson and Dan Stevenson on the second. Then Max Robinson, Lucas King and Ollie O'Gorman on row 3 from Harry Rafferty, Chloe Gleeson and Ollie Evitts. Completing the grid on the 5th row of the starting grid, we have Leo Soliu and Leo Hams. Here's your commentator, Chris Zora.
So Mini GP 160 is about to get underway. Last few riders on the line now, and they'll be underway very shortly. Tyler Humphries on the number 19, closest to us there, one to look out for. Joshua Herring, who we saw earlier as well, looking good. There's Wilson Dilks also in there as well. Lucas King, Chloe Gleeson, Harry Rafferty amongst others, Ollie Evitts, Leo Soliu. So the riders now in position. The grid is now cleared. All eyes on the lights as we get underway for the FIM Mini GP 160. Race number 1 is about to get underway. The Road to MotoGP in association with EA Services as well. The racing about to get underway. The grid is clear and we look like we're ready for racing. Yep, the start is happy. All eyes on the lights. And Mini GP 160. Revs rise and away we go. Tyler Humphries getting away neatly with Hudson Cooper in there as well on the 217, having a peek on the inside, but Humphries has got the line into the corner. Wilson Dilks shadowing in third place. Great start there. Everyone through the first corner cleanly. Joshua Herring, Daniel Stevenson, Frankie Watson all charging away a little bit further behind, but a brilliant start there for Tyler Humphries as they pile into the chicane for the first time. Humphries looking good, just trying to break away in these early stages. I think Wilson Dilks may have briefly gone through to second, but oh no, Hudson Cooper fighting back, retakes that second position. Dilks on his tail in third place. Here they come through the right-hander. Wilson Dilks still threatening in third place. Watching in fourth is Joshua Herring. We've seen earlier on today that Herring never gives up and he'll be determined to try and fight his way back towards the leaders. Still a very close start to this race, as you'd expect on a fast flowing circuit like this Pembrey track here. On this wonderful South Wales coast track, the action hot on the circuit here as Wilson Dilks fighting through to second place. Here they come, 4 riders charging down into the first corner. Dilks down the inside. Well, I think he may have just run a bit wide on the corner. Has he done enough to hold on to the lead? Yes, he has. He was very deep into the first corner, but oh, I say that, on the outside comes Hudson Cooper and Tyler Humphries, of course, fighting away. But Dilks holds on, so Tyler Humphries dropping to third momentarily. Hudson Cooper having a look down the inside here, 217. Bar to bar here almost as they come through into the right-hander. Very close racing here. And back into the lead once again goes Hudson Cooper. So we've had about 4 lead changes already. We're only 2 laps into this race. And the top 2 just starting to pull away momentarily. Tyler Humphries still in third. Joshua Herring and Frankie Watson fighting away for that third place. A little bit further behind is Daniel Stevenson on the number 18. Max Robinson in 7th place, who we saw earlier, of course, running very well. Ollie O'Gorman, Chloe Gleeson currently in 9th position. Harry Rafferty, Lucas King, Ollie Evitts and Leo Soliu rounding out the field. But Road to MotoGP here, and there's certainly some MotoGP still riding in these early stages here as Hudson Cooper 106.029 is the fastest lap of the race. They're just starting to break away now from this fight for third position as Frankie Watson looking impressive here on the number 14, fighting through the field now into 4th place. And it looks like Joshua Herring has now established himself in that 3rd place. Hudson Cooper 217, your race leader, just pulling away momentarily. Is a neat move down the inside there from Frankie Watson, who's really on the move here, going from 5th to 3rd place right now. So the number 14, he's now clear in 3rd. Can he shake that fighting pack off here and try and get with the leaders, as behind him Joshua Herring, Tyler Humphries fighting for position here. Has come through to the final corner, start to close back up now on Frankie Watson, and Watson now having to ride a bit defensively here. As down the inside goes Joshua Herring. Couldn't quite make the move stick. Oh, he had to stand the bike up there on the inside and loses out, and lost that position as well to Tyler Humphries. So a bit unfortunate there for the number 912 as Tyler Humphries fighting back. Down the inside of the number 14 of Watson. Oh, neat move into the chicane. And Watson goes through. So it looks like Hudson Cooper just starting to pull away slightly at the front from Wilson Dilks. But the fight on for third place here as Frankie Watson dealing with that third position. Very close indeed here with Joshua Herring, Tyler Humphries fighting for position. And of course Tyler Humphries moving up a position now as the third place battle hots up here. Road to Moto GP here, race number 1. Oh, a small mistake there from Frankie Watson in the chicane. Had to stand up there on the corner a little bit, lost a bit of momentum. As a bit further down there, we're looking at the back there towards Ollie Everts, Lucas King a bit further down the field. Leo Soliu moving up to 11th place. So Hudson Cooper still leading. So Tyler Humphries now back into third place. And 14, Frankie Watson coming under a bit of pressure now from Joshua Herring. 4 laps to go as they make their way through. Hudson Cooper continuing to lead the race by 0.8 of a second from Wilson Dilks in second place. But all the action on for third place here. As Frankie Watson recovering from that small mistake. We see there though, tiniest of mistakes there from Frankie Watson on the previous lap, and that's allowed Tyler Humphries through quite easily into third place as we go back to our leaders. And Hudson Cooper still leading the way. Wilson Dilks charging in that second place, trying his best to close up. Dilks has really got to try and keep the pressure on the race leader here. We've seen there just a small mistake into a corner, just loses the momentum. So Hudson, oh, trouble for third place. And again on that, that right-hander coming up towards the finish line. Another rider claim there. I think it was Tyler Humphries that went down. Over the line they go though, so Cooper leads, Dilks in second. I think it was Tyler Humphries that went down, so yes indeed it was. Frankie Watson up to third. Joshua Herring in fourth, Humphries in fifth, and Tyler Humphries okay, but he wanders dejectedly off the track. Just a small mistake there, the front wheel just seemed to wash out. Again we saw Ormond on the previous race, number 21 in the mini bike race, the front wheel washing away on that right-hander. So who knows, perhaps it's a little bit cooler than the riders were expecting out there. The grip maybe not quite there. It was we'll look at this again. Tyler Humphries, oh no, he got a bit of a tank slapper coming out of the corner. It's a different kind of crash. We just saw the bike just get a little bit squirrely there, and he couldn't control the bike and tumbles to the side of the track. But the good news is, as we saw a moment ago, Tyler Humphries walking away from the accident. Okay, well, the bike is still on the edge of the track. There is a waved yellow flag though, so the riders should be able to slow down for that one. So Hudson Cooper continues to lead the way. Wilson Dilks in second position. And with Tyler Humphries gone, that means of course the fight is now between Watson and Joshua Herring on the number 912. As again the rest of the field charging through, so Watson still there, Daniel Stevenson in fifth place. From Max Robinson we're looking at Chloe Gleeson and Ollie O'Gorman coming around the final couple of corners. Leo Soliu and Ollie Everts fighting away as well. Over the line go the chasing pack. That's Ollie Everts, number 61, with Leo Soliu charging behind number 36. But further down then Harry Rafferty, Lucas King out of the race I believe on the number 16. As of course we saw dramatically a few moments ago, the number 19 of Tyler Humphries. So we're down to 11 riders. And still this fight here between Joshua Herring and Frankie Watson. The gap going up to 2 seconds at the front though between Hudson Cooper and Wilson Dilks. The yellow flag warning of that stricken bike on the edge of the track. Up towards the final corner they go. And it's still the number 14 of Frankie Watson guarding the inside line around the final corner. Hudson goes through in the lead. Hudson Cooper your race leader. Wilson Dilks in second. Here's the fight for third. Frankie Watson guarding the apex into the right-hander. And what's Herring going to do? Can he try and find his way through a little bit further behind here? We have a battle here with Daniel Stevenson, Max Robinson, Ollie O'Gorman and Chloe Gleeson still fighting away here. Oh, and look at this. So Joshua Herring fighting back into the left-hander. Through to the chicane, but Watson's got the line into the corner and holds on to that position. So Hudson Cooper, as we head towards the closing stages of this Mini GP 160, race number 1, And Hudson Cooper, number 217, continues to lead the way. Wilson Dilks 3.2 seconds down in second place. We're focusing on this battle for third place, very close between Joshua Herring and Frankie Watson, with Watson now through into third place. They make their way around the final few corners. There goes Wilson Dilks, just out of shot there, past the stricken bike of number 19, Tyler Humphries. In towards the final corner they go. Hudson Cooper still looking good at the front of the field. Hudson Cooper now onto his 10th lap, so this is the last lap of the race. And Cooper, number 217, leading the race now by 5.6 seconds from Wilson Dilks, number 85 in second place. Frankie Watson and Joshua Herring still very close for third place. Max Robinson and Daniel Stevenson having a very close fight for fifth, with Ollie O'Gorman, Chloe Gleeson running closely, Ollie Evans, Leo Soliu rounding out the top 10. Harry Rafferty, the last rider in the race at the moment, in 11th place. Leo Soliu moving into 9th position on the line, as again, and the final couple of corners they go. I think that might have been Lucas King on the side of the track there, as well. He retired early on in the race next to the marshal with the waved yellow flag. So a couple of dropouts in this race as Hudson Cooper makes his way around the final corner, down the finish line straight. It's been a great race for him, and he punches the air as he takes the checkered flag. So Hudson Cooper, 217, your race winner. Wilson Dilks will finish in second place. Frankie Watson taking third from Joshua Herring as we look at this battle a little further down the field here. Leo Soliu, Ollie Evans and Harry Rafferty down the back straight. Back to the finish line, and it looks like it's going to be Max Robinson any moment now from Daniel Stevenson. There they go, side by side over the line almost. So Robinson takes fifth, Stevenson in sixth.
Certainly a more unusual result in Mini GP UK 160. Hudson Cooper ahead of Wilson Dilks, with Frankie Watson just pipping Josh Herring to the line for third. Max Robinson doing likewise for Dan Stevenson, and Ollie O'Gorman just pipping Chloe Gleeson. Also a good battle between Ollie Evans and Leo Soliu, going in Evans' favour. Well, unfortunately then for Tyler Humphries, not quite the result he would have wanted, and certainly unusual for him. Of course, even though he's walking away, there is a protocol in place for the junior categories. Prevention always better than cure. It's important that he gets a medical check over, even if it seems to be that he's okay. The consolation, of course, is that Humphries is still leading the championship at this point. Hudson Cooper in second, just 4 points ahead of Wilson Dilks. Watson and Herring are close. Knit two together as we usually do in Minibikes Super Minis for the first time this year. Casey O'Gorman, Bailey Stewart Campbell and Jake Smith on the front row. Leo Caulfield, Lawrence Wardle and Louis Smith just in front of James Sidebottom, who completes the grid.
As we're about to get things underway with the Super Minis for race number 1 of the afternoon. Riders in position right now, and all eyes on the lights. So Super Minis, first race of the day is about to get underway. Revs rising as we wait for the lights, and away we go. Jake Smith, the front wheel on that KTM, popping up to say hello, so that's affected his start there. As they make their way around the first couple of corners, just trying to identify there is a Mini GP bike in there as well, so just trying to identify who that rider is as quickly as possible. But they go charging through. Bailey Stewart Campbell in number 99. Getting a good start there, Leo Caulfield, and one of our old favourites, of course, Lawrence Wardle, is always here in the Super Mini action. He's in there as well, number 414. Louis Smith and James Sidebottom. So not such a good start there for Jake Smith, but he sweeps down the inside. There's James Sidebottom on the Honda. You'll hear that CRF 150, the 4-stroke, screaming away at the back of the field. That's, I believe, the rider at the front there. We're just looking at our lap charts, is going to be the number 67 of Casey O'Gorman making his way through. Bailey Stewart Campbell, number 99, currently in second place. Here they come over the line for the first time, so O'Gorman leads the way. Charging into the right-hander, Stewart Campbell in third. Lawrence Wardle's had a good start, moving into third position. Louis Smith, Leo Caulfield. Jake Smith, of course, dropping to sixth after that difficult start. And James Sidebottom rounding out the field. So Casey O'Gorman, number 67, making his way through. So this is the second lap of the race as they make their way through up towards the right-hander. O'Gorman just trying to pull away from Stewart Campbell in second place. The gap just over half a second at the moment. There is the number 67 on the Bucci. So the Mini GP style machine that's permitted in this race. So Gorman leading. Stuart Gamble charging in second place. Wardle just a little bit further behind in third. Through that fast switchback section that's claimed a couple of riders already this morning. O'Gorman around the final corner he goes, and just trying to pull away now from Bailey Stuart Campbell, the rider in second position. And you hear in the background, of course, the two-strokes streaming away, so Stuart Campbell on the KTM in second place. Getting the power down quite neatly, lapping quickly here. 102.571 for Casey O'Gorman. Stuart Campbell, the rider we're looking at now, charging away in second place. Lawrence Wardle is about 3 seconds down in third place. Lewis Smith still in fourth, from Jake Smith, Leo Caulfield and James Sidebottom rounding out the field as we go on to our third lap in this Brat Bike Super Minis as we watch Bailey Stuart Campbell charging away. That KTM 85 down the back straight it goes. You can hear the scream of the two strokes as they make their way down the back straight. Still with Lawrence Wardle a little bit further behind in third place. Lewis Smith in fourth, fighting with Jake Smith and Leo Caulfield, with James Sidebottom just a little bit further behind. Although she's having a real close battle of fourth, a little bit further behind, but Bailey Stuart Campbell still charging away in that second place. Casey O'Gorman now well clear. So you'll see when you compare these to a motocross bike, of course, when you look at the KTM there with Bailey Stuart Campbell in second place, a lot of the pegs on the hub there as well, and the spaces for the wheels. They run on smaller wheels, of course, than the motocross bikes. Brat Bikes, performing a engineering company making a lot of the bespoke parts, and along with OMG Racing supporting this Super Mini 2024 Championship as Bailey Stuart Campbell charges through the right-hander. We do, of course, have some occasional guest appearances from the BSB riders in this class. Not this weekend, of course, but Stuart Campbell still charging away in second place after Casey O'Gorman, the top two, just starting to pull away now from the rest of the field. So O'Gorman, you can hear that KTM screaming through the right hand as they go over the line once again. So Casey O'Gorman with the fastest lap of the race there as we go into the end of the fourth lap. Stuart Campbell in second place. Lawrence Wardle 10 seconds down in third position now as the fight, here they come. Just going through the first corner. Lawrence Wardle, Jake Smith, Leo Caulfield and Lewis Smith. They're having a really close fight for third place. We'll have a look as they make their way up towards the left-hander. There's the number 414 of Lawrence Wardle. Coming under some real pressure now from Jake Smith, who had a difficult start to the race. You saw the front end really looping out at the start. He had to fight to keep that front end under control. But the number 56 fighting back quite well as the other two behind him there, the number 4 of Leo Caulfield and the 66 of Lewis Smith, just starting to settle into their own battle. There you see, of course, Lewis Smith on the white. Husqvarna having a look down the inside. Oh, nice little cheeky move there through into that little dogleg chicane. And it looks like Lewis Smith has made the move stick. And also Jake Smith has got through to third. So a good fight back there for Jake Smith. And so only 7 riders in the race, of course, but when you look at how fast this Pembrey circuit is, it really does lend itself to some very close racing here. Very difficult for riders to potentially establish themselves at the front. We have seen some good front-running riders earlier on. So Gorman leads by 4.7 seconds now from Bailey Stuart Campbell. Just saw the back of the shot there. James Sidebottom down in 7th position, but closest action in this race is currently the fight for third position here as Jake Smith, number 56, holds on to that third place. Lawrence Wardle just falling behind a little bit now in 4th, as just starting to put the pressure on is the number 4 of Leo Caulfield. Caulfield trying to look down the inside of Wardle into the chicane, but can't find a way through. At the moment, Jake Smith just starting to pull away slightly in 3rd, so Gorman still leading. There's the number 28 of James Sidebottom, the only Honda CRF in this race, so the 4-stroke number 28 currently in 7th place. just a little bit further behind this battle for third as they almost forward abreast now into the first corner. Look at this, how close they are. Lawrence Wardle opting to back out early. Well, he's going to try and get the... There he goes, going for the exit speed out of the first corner. And the outside sweep. So will that line work for the number 414? Over the line they go, of course, four abreast almost on the start-finish line. We just saw Bailey Stewart Campbell clearing away in that second place. We're up to the... moving up now to the 7th lap of the race. So 3 laps to go after this. Still a long way to go. Casey O'Gorman trying to clear away at the front. The gap goes up to 5.7 seconds on the previous lap. Bailey Stewart Campbell pretty much on his own in second place as the fight for third really hotting up here as Jake Smith starts to come under pressure now from Leo Caulfield, who's really got the pace on as the race continues here. He's been getting quicker and quicker. Round the final corner they go. Looks like Lewis Smith has also got past Lawrence Wardle. Here they come then down towards the first corner. Caulfield having a look. Oh, as Lawrence Wardle also has a peek down the inside of Lewis Smith, but can't find a way through. Round the first corner they go. And into the left-hander. O'Gorman leading by 6.8 seconds. Stuart Campbell in second. Jake Smith now clear in third, only just though from Leo Caulfield. Jake Smith, Leo Caulfield, Lewis Smith all fighting away very closely still for that third place as Lewis Smith has a look down the inside there of Leo Caulfield, can't quite find a way through. Lawrence Wardle has been left behind slightly, watching in 6th position right now as Casey O'Gorman makes his way around the back of the circuit, heading towards the finish line. Last third of the lap here, you would say. Bailey Stewart Campbell is 8.7 seconds adrift in second place and still this fight for third position. Meanwhile, here comes the leader, Casey O'Gorman, round the final corner, and the race number 1 in the Super Minis goes to Casey O'Gorman, crossing the line to take the checkered flag. We watch on the inset our fight for third position as we wait on the finish line here for Bailey Stewart Campbell to come over the line in second. And there in second goes the number 99, and into the final corner comes the fight for third position. So it's going to be for third place on the line. Oh, it's a tight one to the finish line there. Leo Caulfield snatching third place on the line from Jake Smith. Lewis Smith ends up in 5th position, Lawrence Wardle in 6th, and our final rider home will be the Honda CRF 150 of the number 28 of James Sidebottom, the rider who's on your screen now. So Sidebottom on the 4-stroke goes screaming around the final corner. You can hear that burble from the Honda engine.
Superb ride at the front from Casey O'Gorman, 9 seconds clear of Bailey Stewart Campbell. Leo Caulfield just ahead of Jake Smith and Louis Smith at the finish, with Lawrence Wardle breathing their dust at the end. James Sidebottom managing to bring the bike home for P7, so all's well that ends well for all 7 riders. What that means for the championship, though, of course, in Super Mini, is that it's very much Lawrence Wardle's game, but only by 19 points ahead of Jack Bednarak. James Sidebottom's close. Louis Smith and Jake Smith are fairly close together as well. Into the Mini GP 160 race, Dan Stevenson, Tyler Humphries and Arnie Carr, with Hudson Cooper, our onboard cameraman, Frankie Watson and Wilson Dilks rounding out the second row. Then we've got Josh Herring, Harrison Quincy and Bradley Curtis on the third, Lucas King, Ollie O'Gorman and Harry Rafferty on the fourth. Then we have Archie Hooper, Mason Federick and Isabel Wingate from the Rhodeses.
Last few riders lining up on the start grid now. And pretty much everyone in position. The first race of the day for BMB 160 and 50 Cup. The green flag goes up, and it looks like we are about to go. An ultimate race, of course, of the morning programme here. All eyes on the start lights. BMB 160 and 50 Cup is about to get underway right on cue. They blast away from the line. 1 or 2 slow getaways in the midfield, but they get away well. Daniel Stevenson, Tyler Humphries recovering from that crash in the Road to MotoGP race. Earlier on, he's evidently okay, the bike's okay, and fighting for the lead already. Arnie Carr in third place, Hudson Cooper. So it looks like Stevenson getting underway. Onto the field. Good start there for Tyler Humphries, so Humphries clearly showing no ill effects from that spill around half an hour ago. Got the bike cleaned up and safe to go racing again. Here they come round towards the long right-hander at the top of the circuit. Looks like Hudson Cooper with a good start. Wilson Dilks also well placed in the top 5. Joshua Herring, Frankie Watson, who we saw having a wonderful battle in the FIM Mini GP race a little bit earlier on, also running well in the top 10. As one rider hits trouble on the first lap, that's the number 56 a bit further down there. That's Lily Rhodes who's hit trouble, but she seems okay. Looking to get the bike back onto the track. The race goes on, of course, though, with Daniel Stevenson leading the way as Tyler Humphries sweeps round the outside into second place on that first corner. Neat move there from Hudson Cooper. Had to get his braking right for that corner. Took a nice sweeping line on the outside as Daniel Stevenson pulls away. Oh, look at this. Coming up here, though, is Arnie Carr down the inside on the chicane. Oh, it's so difficult, though, to try and get that apex on the inside of the corner. So Daniel Stevenson leading the way. And this great fight for second place now. Tyler Humphries saying, oh, look at that, though, from, double move there from Arnie Carr. Fantastic stuff there. Arnie Carr really got that line to perfection there, the right-hander. There is an overtake to be had there if you get the line correct. You've got to be brave, though. And Arnie Carr had bravery in bucket loads to carry that one off. You've just got to be assertive. Get the bike down the inside. Take the apex away from the other rider fairly, of course. But what a fantastic move there from Arnie Carr to go from 4th to 2nd on a very difficult corner, and now seems to be clear in 2nd, so he'll be trying to close up on Daniel Stevenson. Carr in 2nd, 104.969. And that is the fastest lap of the race so far. Can Carr in 2nd close up on the race leader? I'm sure that Hudson Cooper and Tyler Humphries in 3rd and 4th will have other ideas. Now, I think that at the back, I wonder if that's the... I think it may be Max Rhodes or possibly Lily. I think it's Max Rhodes, actually, going over the line there, a little bit further down the field. And... oh, no, my apologies. That's Lily Rhodes, the rider that we saw earlier on in the race, having some trouble. So she's got going again and has got past Harry Rafferty, who I'm not sure is still in the race or not at this stage. There is a waved yellow flag, though, if you look at that marshal. So we'll have a look on the bottom right here of Lily Rhodes, number 56. And she is going through a waved yellow here, so wondering perhaps if the 111 of Harry Rafferty could well be out of the race. So Rhodes goes on at the back of the field. Meanwhile, at the front here, Daniel Stevenson still being pursued here by Arnie Carr, but Hudson Cooper in 3rd has certainly not let him get away here. He's tagging onto the back wheel of Carr right now and is just keeping that pressure on. So Daniel Stevenson, who has led all of the race so far, but he's got some very quick riders behind him. Carr keeping the pressure on in 2nd, number 83. Then we've got Hudson Cooper on the number 217, currently in 3rd position. Tyler Humphries, number 19, just a little bit further behind there, but still could well be a factor in this race. He's only 1.5 seconds off the race leader. Wilson Dilks currently in 5th place from Frankie Watson. Ollie O'Gorman in 7th place. Harrison Quincy in 8th, Lucas King in 9th, and Bradley Curtis rounding out the top 10 as they go charging through once again. So Daniel Stevenson, still a long way to go in this race. We're still on the 4th lap, so just over half distance remaining in this one. And Stevenson goes round the final corner. Number 18, your race leader, but look out for Carr in 2nd. Carr go down the inside. Is he going to get the braking right for this first corner? Very deep into the corner and takes the lead. Can he hold on the exit to the corner here? It was a nice out-braking manoeuvre there from Arnie Carr, and I think he's done enough here. Green flag, so it looks like the circuit is now clear. And Arnie Carr goes through into the lead. Lovely out-braking manoeuvre into that first corner, and he takes the lead here from Daniel Stevenson, who has led the first half of the race. Now, we now move on to, this is lap number 5, so we're at the halfway point of the race here. Still a long way to go, and you can't write off the rider in 3rd place either here. I think Hudson Cooper still looking very threatening in 3rd place. Tyler Humphries just dropping back a little bit now in 4th. You just see him there just at the back of your screen as the 3 leaders go through that chicane. Very fast sweeping part of the track there. It's caught a couple of riders out of course this morning. 1 or 2 battles a little bit further down there. We've got to Harrison Quincy, Lucas King, Joshua Herring fighting away. That was Mason Fedrick in there, going down the inside of Herring, I believe. Archie Hooper and Max Rhodes just a little bit further behind as the leaders go through the first corner. And it looks like Arnie Carr's gone back into the lead now, so still very close indeed. So a repeat of that overtaking maneuver last time round. And there now Arnie Carr back into the lead. Very fast pace in this race actually. The fastest lap of the race, 104.969 for the race leader Arnie Carr. They're still lapping in the low 105s at this stage. So this is still a very fast competitive race. And there you see a graphic there at the bottom of the screen. So low to mid 105s here for our race leaders, so they're not really dropping off the fastest lap of the race here. Very quick pace here, and you see Tyler Humphries, Wilson Dilks, Frankie Watson a little bit further behind there, just a couple of seconds off the pace of this leading group here as they make their way through the right hand there. Still Arnie Carr leading the way. So George for close on our sixth lap there was the number 755 on the inset of your screen there. Harrison Quincy, who's been having a neat race so far, now into 9th position, trading positions with Lucas King. They go side by side through the chicane there, and it looks like Lucas King has retaken that position at the front though. Arnie Carr, number 83, continues to lead the way. The gap, nothing at all really, 600ths of a second between him and Stevenson in second place. Hudson Cooper has been watching in third for a long time as you look at Quincy having a peek down the inside of King for 9th position. Bradley Curtis and Mason Frederick a bit further behind. You just saw the two riders in front there. That was Joshua Herring and Ollie O'Gorman. They're having their own fight as the leaders lap a tail ender. I think that will have been the I think it's the number 56 of Lily Rhodes who goes a lap down there. We've lost Isabel Wingate from this race a couple of laps ago, and Harry Rafferty on the 111, a early retirement. Arnie Carr meanwhile charging around the final corner. Over the finish line they go to complete another lap. So Carr goes over the line at the end of lap 7, 3 laps to go. Down the inside, having a look there and making the move, sticking to second position is the number 217 of Hudson Cooper. So has Cooper made it? I think he has made it stick. Yes, he has. So Stevenson, the early race leader, drops to third. And what can Stevenson do? Can he fight back? Well, I'm sure that Hudson Cooper is... Oh, look at Cooper now charging after the race leader here. Round the right-hander they go. And it is still Arnie Carr that leads the way. So Hudson Cooper, with that great move, has finally been able to fight through to second place. He's been third for pretty much the entire race here, but now moves into second position. Around the back of the circuit they go, heading through the chicane, that really fast sweeping dogleg section. Right, left, right again. Very fast part of the track as well. We've seen a couple of passes there as the races go on, but Arnie Carr around the final corner, number 83, your race leader. Hudson Cooper charging in second place, closely followed by Daniel Stevenson. Further back there we've still got Harrison Quincy fighting away with Lucas King. They're still having that very close battle for 9th place. Leaders go over the line once again, so Arnie Carr still in the lead of the race as we move on to our penultimate lap. 2 laps to go, including the lap they have just started here. And at the moment, Carr, the race leader, looking good at the front of the field, although Hudson Cooper only a 1/10 of a second down, still keeping the pressure on, but in turn Cooper can't afford to relax here either, because Daniel Stevenson, the early race leader, is still right on the tail in third. There's Quincy and King having their fight into the first corner on the bottom right of your screen. As Carr, the race leader, oh, down the inside there goes Hudson Cooper, but it didn't work out. Still one more lap to go here, so the tactics might yet be to try and line up a pass on the final lap of the race. Daniel Stevenson watching in third, wondering how he can make the situation work for him as well, as they make their way down the star straight. Here they come, oh, 3 abreast into the first corner. And Carr holds on to the lead. Still Harrison Quincy having that fight a bit further down the field, making their way towards the final corner. But they were 3 abreast into the first corner there. Carr holds on. And now the fight on for second place as Daniel Stevenson goes into second position but loses a bit of ground on the race leader. It's still Hudson Cooper fighting for that second place. They make their way out of the chicane towards the top right-hander. And car just starting to pull away a bit now as they make their way down the back straight once again. Still a very closely fought race here. All running very closely indeed. Starting to close up on one of the tail enders once again as well. You head towards the final lap of the race, so still a very closely fought battle here in this opening race. With a race win though at the end there for Arnie Carr. Daniel Stevenson and Hudson Cooper. So very close to the line there, but Arnie Carr riding very well indeed. Daniel Stevenson second place, Hudson Cooper third, Tyler Humphries in fourth, recovering from that spill. Wilson Dilks in fifth, Frankie Watson goes over the line. There goes Joshua Herring in seventh place, Ollie O'Gorman in eighth position.
Great onboard action from Hudson Cooper. We'll be bringing you more of that through the season. Arnie Carr gets the win though, just in front of Stevenson and Cooper, the three men separated by less than a second. Tyler Humphries P4 from Wilson Dilks and Frankie Watson, ahead of Josh Herring, Ollie O'Gorman, Harrison Quincy and Lucas King very close over the line for P9. Great action once more from Mini GP 160 then. So Tyler Humphries leads in 160.50 as well with 151 points. Arnie Carr on 125, Frankie Watson and Dan Stevenson only separated by 3 in the battle for third. In we go once again then for the Minibike 160s. Tim Patterson, Tony Reveley and Richard Rice on the front row from Pete Johnson, Michael Judkins and Barry Clark. They're in the top 6. Behind them, just 4 more riders, Med, Jarvis, Bun Clark and Neelands.
Richard Rice looking good earlier on over the weekend. Michael Judkins, Tony Reveley there, number 164, one of the vet riders on the inside line as we wait for the lights to go to green and away they go. So Minibike 160 and vets charging into the first corner. 13 now then getting a good start. Tony Reveley also gets away well with Pete Johnson also in there. Michael Judkins, Barry Clark a bit further behind over the line. So through they go for the first time. And heading through towards the chicane. All looking very close towards the front there as they make their way through. So our first lap of the Minibike 160 and the vets getting underway. That's Tim Patterson looks like at the front of the field, who's had a good weekend so far. Was Tony Reveley in second from our veteran group here, with Michael Judkins and Barry Clark also in there as they make their way through the chicane for the first time. I'm pretty sure that's the, not showing on the lap charts here, but I'm pretty sure that's the number 13 of Tim Patterson that leads the way, but it's all very close for second position. There's the race leader coming out of the final corner now and over the line for the first time, so lap number 1 completed. So it looks like, I believe that's Tim Patterson leading the way. Robert Med up to second position now on the number 73 as they make their way through. So Tim Patterson leads the way. It's Robert Med in second, Michael Judkins in third, Tony Reveley, Pete Johnson, Barry Clark and James Jarvis rounding out the field as we watch the number 13 of Tim Patterson making his way through the right-hander. It's double apex right-hander here. It's a very fast corner here. Difficult to go for an overtake on that corner. We've seen a couple of riders do it earlier on, of course. Remember Arnie Carr earlier on with that double pass on that corner. It's a very fast corner, so you've really got to be decisive and brave to make that move work and make it clean as well, because if it all goes wrong, you would not only have a hefty crash yourself, but potentially take your rival with you as well. So you've really got to make that one work. But a bit further behind Tim Patterson, the race leader. It's all very close here with Robert Med holding on to that second place. Michael Judkins a little bit further behind in third place. Tony Reveley, Pete Johnson, Barry Clark and James Jarvis all running very closely as they go charging through to complete another lap. So Patterson leading, and there is the second place rider, Robert Med, number 73, Michael Judkins, 164 in your shot now. That's Tony Reveley, closely followed by Barry Clark and Pete Johnson, with James Jarvis on the number 11 just a little bit further behind. Through past the second corner they go. That's the track crossing there where they get through to the paddock, so in towards the chicane. And it's still Robert Med that holds on to that second place. Tim Patterson clearing away at the front. 2 laps completed, so through they go. You can see that Tim Patterson very much in a race on his own at the moment, running the 160 class, and the vets, of course. This is effectively the battle for the lead of the vets here, with Robert Med still in second place, Michael Judkins, Tony Reveley, Barry Clark, Pete Johnson, James Jarvis all charging away. Down the back straight they go, through the chicane. All running very closely as they make their way through and up towards the final 2 corners, but Robert Med looking good. But there's absolutely no margin for error here because they're all running so closely in that second place. So Med goes through in second. Still Judkins in third, Reveley, Clark, Johnson a bit further behind. James Jarvis rounding up the field in 7th place. Here they come down to the first corner, and it looks like Michael Judkins, you would say the Rothmans inspired leathers. You remember the old Honda teams from the 1980s, very distinctive leathers for the 97 Robert. Michael Judkins there in second place. Robert Med just falling back a little bit, but fighting now. Side by side through the chicane. Oh, got the wheel down the inside there, and Robert Med back into second and towards the front of the vets race. Tim Patterson well clear at the front, so this battle for second place, also the battle for the lead of the vets. And it is still Robert Med that leads the way as we focus on the right-hand side of our leader, Tim Patterson, very much in a race of his own. Just going through the chicane there, just out of your shot on the left-hand side, giving you an idea of how much he is pulling away. But this vest race is very close indeed here, with Judkins just dropping the lead now to Robert Med, back into second place, and in the lead of the vets he goes. Round the final corner they go, and it is still Robert Med that's clear in second place. Now let's see what Judkins can do, although look out for Toby Reveley there, number 164. Tony Reveley having a look down the inside of Judkins and makes the move. He's got to guard that apex, and he does so. There a bit further back is James Jarvis, who just saw momentarily, and I think could be at risk here of being lapped by the race leader, Tim Patterson. There he is on the right-hand side of the screen, who is still circulating very quickly indeed. Round the final corner he goes. So Patterson about to complete his 7th lap. Here we go, so 3 laps to go, including the one he has just started. And Tim Patterson looking good at the front of the field. Still that very close battle for second place, and of course the fight for second is also the fight for the lead in the vets class as they make their way through. So Patterson, number 13, still your comfortable race leader, but then the fight really on for that second place as Robert Med goes through in second position. Michael Judkins, Tony Reveley and Barry Clark all fighting away. Here they come down the finish line straight. Robert Med at the moment, number 73, has got a little bit of an advantage at the front, as Michael Judkins on the number 97 just about holds off Tony Reveley. Robert Med now clear in second place. There he is at the front of the field, number 73. But desperately trying to close up now. Clear in that third place is the number 97 of Michael Judkins. He just seems to have fended off Tony Reveley momentarily as they make their way out of the first corner. And up towards the top corner they go. So at the end of this lap, it will be 2 laps to go as we watch our race leader, number 13, the machine of Tim Patterson, just lapping the number 11, James Jarvis, who falls a lap down. Don't think anybody else will be at risk of being lapped here, so it looks like Tim Patterson has a clear track in front of him as this race draws to a close. So Patterson over the line. What fastest lap of the race incident there, lap number 8. This is now the penultimate lap of the race, and Patterson setting 1:11.217 last time round, so that is the fastest lap in this race so far. And Patterson absolutely motoring at the front of the field as the fight goes on for second place. Over the line they go. So it's still Robert Med from Michael Judkins, Tony Reveley. Barry Clark and Pete Johnson just a little bit further behind. Leaders now going around the back of the circuit, but Robert Med still coming under some pressure from Michael Judkins, who seems very quick out of the first corner. Oh, down the inside he goes. Can't quite take the corner away from him though. Race leader Tim Patterson coming round the final corner now on the number 13. Patterson has looked very good in this race so far. Out of the final corner he goes and down the finish line straight. And will take the... So it is the final at my apologies. He will take the checkered flag, so it's a comprehensive race victory there for Tim Patterson. James Jarvis should be coming through a lap down. There he goes through in 7th place then, so the rest of the action here is coming up to the final corner now for 2nd place. Our finisher is now racing, but here come the entire pack now around the final corner. Robert Med looks like he's going to hold on and take the Vets victory. Out to the final corner they go, so it's going to be Robert Med over the line to win the Vets class. 2nd in the race, of course, so Med over the line, Revley in 3rd, Judkins, Barry Clark in 5th place, and Pete Johnson rounding up that group of riders in 6th place. But there is your race winner, number 13, Tim Patterson will take the checkered flag.
And by quite a margin as well, 33 seconds clear. But that's not really the big story from this one. Look at the gaps. Med, Reveley, Judkins, Clark, Johnson, separated by 2 seconds. Any of the 5 riders could have made the podium. So very impressive that Med and Reveley were just able to eke out that little bit over their opponents. Jarvis crossing the line a lap down. But what does that do for the championship? Well, Bednarek is still your championship leader. Jack is on 360. That puts Patterson into 2nd now ahead of Robert Med, with Barry Clark ahead of Dean Bednarek by just 5 points adrift. Very close stuff. Well, that's it from Pembrey in South Wales, but join us again when we're back to the karting tracks for the remainder of the season, starting at the fantastic Three Sisters race circuit in Wigan. We'll see you very soon.